Well, the one question I get asked most often is when you should start your Social Security retirement benefits. And Social Security considers retirement benefits retirement on your own records. What things you need to ask yourself in terms of whether you should file at 62, 65, 67, 70 years old, how to calculate those benefits, what's the reduction, how to calculate the break even point, what a lot of financial advisors aren't telling you. A lot of particularly IRS type people, your financial accountant or whatever, knows the IRS, but quite often they don't know Social Security in terms of the benefit programs and all the rest of it. And if you make the wrong decision, if you file your benefits too early or too late, you could lose hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. So let's make sure that doesn't happen. All right. So my name is Ed Weir. I ran the third business Social Security office in the country, and I've taken hundreds of thousands of retirement claims, and I've helped millions of people out with all things Social Security, retirement, disability, survivor benefits, and all the rest of it. I put together a website, and we're going to go through that right now. And it's mygovexpert.com. So there's the website, mygovexpert.com, and everything on here is 100% free. So go in there and play around with it. And what we're going to talk about today is retirement. So we're going to go over to the retirement section there and when you're going to start your benefits. So this gives you an understanding of what the basics are. Number one is, when is your full retirement age? And this is a free calculator. You just calculate your full retirement age there. You just put in there, let's say February of, let's say February 3rd of 1961 is your birthday, and you pop it up there, and there it goes. Your full retirement age is 67 years old. And when will you reach 67? That is March 20 of 28. So there is exactly your full retirement age. And remember, if you file early, your benefits are going to be reduced. We're talking about 30%. And you don't have to wait, a year or anything like that. Every month you wait to collect your Social Security benefits, your benefits go up until basically you hit 70 years old. At 70, you also get not only your full benefit amount, but you also get extra. They're called delayed retirement credits. Okay, so again, you go into the home, you click on the retirement there, and you click on when to start. And there's a bunch of different resources, 100% free. If you want to support us, that'd be beautiful too. You just type in again your date of birth. Let's say March 6th of, let's say 1960, and then you put your benefit amount. How do you get your benefit amount? Your PIA. Your PIA is your benefit amount at your full retirement age, called the primary insurance amount. And you can go that, it calls Social Security, or you can get it on mysocialsecurity.gov. And let's say your full benefit amount is $1,800, and you can play around with the life expectancy there, but you don't have to mess around with that if you don't want to. And you click on that, and it tells you, perhaps, depending on variables, and we'll talk about those, perhaps you should start your benefits at 70, because that $1,800 increases to 2232 at 70, because you get those delayed retirement credits. And you can click on the different buttons, and it tells you, okay, if your full benefit amount is at 67, $1,800. If you file at 62, you're going to be reduced $1,260. If you wait, again, 2,200. And here's the good part there: lifetime income. Nice little chart there. So the little blue line is if you start at 62, the very first year before you start, you get zero, right? But let's say you live until 88 years old. So if you would have started at 62 years old, your total income you would receive from Social Security would be $393,000. That doesn't include COLA increases or anything, because we don't know what those will be. But here's the thing: if you waited until 70 to start your benefits, you're obviously losing money to begin with. But if you live until 88 years old, you're actually going to make $482,112. So after a break-even point looks at about 80 years old, you would have benefited if you actually started at 70. So if you live all the way to 100, then yeah, you're going to make quite a bit more money if you had waited till 70 years old. Okay, so that's a great little calculator, 100% free to use. And one of the reasons people don't file for Social Security benefits early is because they're working. And remember, when you're working and receiving retirement benefits, you're limited to the amount of money you can make. This year it's to $23,400. So this goes into all the details there about working. Um, some of the keys about when you should work is whether you need the money. If you need the money, get the money. If people are waiting for you to start your benefits so they can start their benefits, whether it's a spouse or children or something like that, it might be a good idea to go ahead and start those benefits. Um, if you are sick, if your family genes, tax issues, any type of those type of issues that might benefit from filing early or filing late. If your longevity in your family is not very good, then get those benefits 62. If your family lives a long time, then it might be better to get it at 70. A lot of people nowadays ask about political considerations, the politics of it, that the Social Security Trust Fund has slowly been depleted. So we're all going to get cuts here in a few years if nothing is done. So people are saying, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get mine while the getting's good before the cuts start. And that is another decision you'll have to make in terms of, whether you're going to start your benefits now or in the future. So need the money. Are you working? Auxiliaries, that is spouse or children, your health, genes, taxes. Are you going to are you going to have to pay more taxes, getting extra income if you start your benefits now? Can you invest it better than the Social Security Administration and get that, after the delayed retirement gets credits, you get the 8%. And then the politics. So nobody can tell you when you should start your benefits. And nobody is 100% correct in when they can tell you to start your benefits. The only time you know 100% for sure when you should have started your benefits is the day leave us here. And that day, I and anybody else can go in there and say, oh, yeah, you should have started your benefits at 62 or 70 or 67. Until then, without that knowledge, without that crystal ball, you just make your best guess effort. All right, y'all take care and make sure you join my website and join my live Q&A, which I do several times a week. Take care.